What if some of the smartest songs of the 1960s are not the ones radio plays every weekend? Some were too quiet, too strange, too emotional, or simply buried under bigger hits. But hidden inside these forgotten tracks are powerful voices, sharp lyrics, and melodies that still feel alive. So which underrated 60s songs deserve to be heard again tonight? Let's count them down. Number 10, The Snake by Al Wilson, 1968.
Oh, well, she cried.
This song sounds like a simple story, but it hides a warning people still quote today. The Snake by Al Wilson tells the tale of a kind woman who rescues a freezing snake, only to be harmed by it after showing mercy. The idea is old, almost like a fable, but Wilson turns it into a soulful pop record with a strong beat and dramatic delivery. What makes it brilliant is how easy it is to understand. The story works for children, adults, and anyone who has trusted the wrong person. The snake is not just an animal, it becomes a symbol of danger, betrayal, and bad judgment. Wilson's voice gives the song charm, but the message gives it staying power. It was a hit, yet it is often left out when people talk about great 60s soul pop storytelling. That is unfair, because few songs from the decade teach a lesson this clearly while still making you want to move. Number 9, You Keep Me Hangin' On by Vanilla Fudge, 1967. This cover changed a Motown classic into something darker, heavier, and almost frightening. You Keep Me Hangin' On was first made famous by the Supremes, but Vanilla Fudge slowed it down and stretched it into a dramatic rock performance. Instead of a sharp dance-pop heartbreak song, it became a heavy emotional storm. That is what makes this version so underrated. It helped show how a familiar song could be rebuilt completely. The organ sounds huge, the drums feel powerful, the vocals sound desperate, like someone trapped inside a relationship they cannot escape. In many ways, this version helped point toward heavier rock styles that would grow stronger at the end of the 60s. It is not just a cover, it is a transformation. The song proves that a great melody can survive being taken apart, slowed down, and rebuilt with fire. If you are liking this video, then hit the like button, because underrated songs only survive when real music fans bring them back into the conversation. Number 8, I Can See for Miles by The Who, 1967.
I know you deceived me, now here's a surprise.
This song had one of the biggest sounds of The Who's early career, yet many casual listeners still forget how brilliant it is. I Can See for Miles opens with a feeling of danger, like something is coming from far away. Then the drums crash in, the guitars cut through, and the whole song becomes a warning. The lyrics are about someone who knows they have been betrayed, but instead of sounding weak, the singer sounds almost powerful. That gives the song its strange energy. It is angry, sharp, and confident. The production was also massive for its time, with layers of sound that made it feel bigger than many pop singles of the decade. It did well, but it never became as overplayed as other 60s rock classics. That may be why it still feels fresh. It is one of those songs that reminds you The Who were not only loud, they were precise, dramatic, and fearless. Number 7, Season of the Witch by Donovan, 1966.
Strange.
This song feels like someone opened a door and let the strange side of the 60s walk in. Season of the Witch by Donovan is not a normal pop song. It moves slowly, with a smoky groove and lyrics that feel suspicious, mystical, and slightly dangerous. You do not always know exactly what it means, but you feel the mood immediately. That mood is the reason the song is brilliant. It captures a moment when popular music was becoming darker and more experimental. The bright early 60s sound was changing. Artists were exploring paranoia, mystery, and new ways of thinking. Season of the Witch feels like the soundtrack to that change. It has been covered many times, but the original still has a special spell. It is not loud, it does not beg for attention, it just sits there, cool and strange, making the room feel different.
Number 6, Fresh Garbage by Spirit, 1968.
Your fresh garbage.
This song talked about pollution before environmental music became a normal thing. Fresh Garbage by Spirit opens with a funky, unusual groove and a title that immediately makes you curious. It is not a love song. It is not a simple protest song either. It is a sharp little warning about waste, modern life, and what people throw away without thinking. That makes it surprisingly ahead of its time. In the late 1960s, more people were becoming aware that pollution and consumer habits could damage the world. Spirit turned that concern into a strange, catchy rock track. The song does not lecture. It moves. It has rhythm, attitude, and a weird charm. That is why it deserves more attention. It proves that important messages do not always need to sound heavy. Sometimes a clever title, a strong groove, and a few sharp lines can say enough. Number 5, Some Velvet Morning by Nancy Sinatra and Lee Hazelwood, 1967.
Very much love.
This duet sounds like two different songs trapped inside one strange dream. Some Velvet Morning brings together Nancy Sinatra's bright, floating voice and Lee Hazelwood's deep, mysterious delivery. The result is beautiful, but also unusual. It does not move like a normal pop record. It shifts between a slow, dark male section and a lighter, almost magical female section. That contrast makes the song unforgettable. It feels like a conversation between reality and fantasy. The lyrics mention Phaedra, flowers, and secrets, but they never explain everything. That mystery is part of the appeal. Many 60s songs were direct and easy to understand. This one feels like a puzzle with perfume on it. It is cinematic, strange, and stylish. Even today, it sounds unlike almost anything else from the decade. That is why it belongs on this list. It is not just underrated, it is hypnotic. Number 4, Alone Again or By Love, 1967.
In love with almost everyone.
This song is one of the most beautiful pieces of 60s folk rock, yet it still does not get the mainstream attention it deserves. Alone Again or By Love opens with a gentle guitar pattern, then brings in horns that make the song feel warm, sad, and cinematic at the same time. The brilliance is in the emotion. The song sounds sunny on the surface, but underneath, there is loneliness. That mix makes it powerful. It captures the feeling of smiling while something inside you feels far away. Love's album Forever Changes is now respected by critics, but many everyday listeners still know far less about it than albums by bigger 60s bands. Alone Again or deserves to stand beside the best songs of its era. It is elegant, emotional, and quietly heartbreaking. Some songs shout their greatness. This one glows. Number 3, I Had Too Much to Dream Last Night by the Electric Prunes, 1967. This song starts with one of the strangest guitar sounds of the 60s. I Had Too Much to Dream Last Night by the Electric Prunes arrives like a dream turning into a warning. The title sounds playful, but the music feels uneasy and electric. It is garage rock, psychedelic pop, and teenage confusion all at once. What makes it brilliant is the atmosphere. The song captures that moment when pop music began leaving normal reality behind. The guitars buzz, the vocals feel haunted, the rhythm pushes forward like someone running from a memory. It became a hit, but many people now remember only the title, not how strong the actual record is. This is the kind of song that helped open the door for psychedelic rock. It sounds weird, but not random. It sounds like the 60s discovering that dreams could be noisy, colorful, and dangerous. Number 2, White Bird by It's a Beautiful Day, 1969. This song turns longing into something almost weightless. White Bird by It's a Beautiful Day is built around a beautiful violin line and a vocal that feels gentle but trapped. The song tells of a white bird in a golden cage, and that image is simple enough for anyone to understand. It is about beauty, freedom, and being stuck somewhere you do not belong. The song's power comes from its sadness. It does not explode, it floats. The violin gives it a different sound from most rock songs of the time, making it feel almost classical and folk-like at once. Many people who hear it once never forget it. yet it is still not mentioned as often as the biggest late 60s classics. That makes it a perfect, underrated gem. Whitebird feels delicate, but its message is strong. Freedom matters most when you can see the sky but cannot reach it. Number 1, Time of the Season by the Zombies, 1968. This song became famous, but it is still underrated as a piece of pure craft. Time of the Season by the Zombies has one of the coolest grooves of the decade. Finger snaps, smooth bass, sharp organ, and a vocal that feels relaxed but mysterious. It sounds simple, but every part is perfectly placed. What makes it brilliant is how modern it still feels. The song does not rush. It lets space do some of the work. That was not always common in 60s pop, where many records tried to fill every second. Here, the pauses are part of the magic. The track came from Odyssey and Oracle, an album that was not fully appreciated when it first appeared but later became loved by serious music fans. Time of the Season reminds us that brilliance is not always loud. Sometimes it is cool, clean, and perfectly timed. These 10 underrated 60s songs prove that brilliance does not always stay at the front of memory. Some songs were too strange, too subtle, or simply buried under bigger names. But listen closely, and they still have power. Sharp stories, bold sounds, deep feelings, and ideas ahead of their time. Which forgotten 60s song would you add to this list? Comment your pick, like the video, and subscribe for more hidden music treasures.